Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel for a favourites video. It's been a while. It has been a while since I did a favourites video. I think it must have been last year, the last time I did a favourites, but I thought, why not just come on here and talk to you about things I've been loving. The theme of this video is things that have been making me feel good. Do you know what I mean? Just making me feel spruced up, making me feel nice, making me feel like I'm about to hit the town and impress the ladies, but I'm not because I'm staying inside. And enough about that. We're not going to mention the C word in this video because he has no place here. He was not invited and he has no place in this video. So we're not going to talk about that. We're only going to talk about happy things and things that are going to make us happy. But I do have to make a little disclaimer right now. We're not going to talk about my fringe because she's not looking great. And I did cut my fringe on my own and it was like I did it whilst it was wet, so it's kind of sprung back up and it doesn't look great, I know. Another thing that doesn't look great, I don't know if this line is going to come out on camera, but the tan line is extreme, but we're all friends here and we're not going to talk about it. Like I say, those are the things we're not going to talk about. And what we are going to talk about is some nice vegan and cruelty-free beauty. So if you are new here, my name is Becky. Hello, should have introduced myself first. My name's Becky and I make content about cruelty-free and vegan beauty and lifestyle and food and stuff. So if you want to subscribe, please do. And let's get into it. Let's start with skincare, shall we? Because I feel like I have been really getting into my skincare of late and just learning as I have been experimenting with products in terms of like learning about ingredients and building on my knowledge of skincare, because I think probably in the past I've probably given out rubbish advice, because when I first went vegan I was all like, oh no, you have to be completely natural, you know, only natural ingredients on my face, which is great. Like I do love natural brands, but not everything that's natural is good for you, and actually not everything that's synthetic in terms of ingredients is bad for you. So with that said, I've been really liking this SPF. This is by Crave Beauty, and before you ask, I got it on Amazon. I put it on my story a couple of times and I got so many questions from people asking where I got it in the UK. I picked it up on Amazon, which I don't love buying things on Amazon, especially when it's beauty products, because also you don't know if it's a counterfeit product or if it's genuine, it's actually from the brand. So that's something to note, but this seems legit. Other reviews on the Amazon site are great. It's the Beat the Sun SPF 50 plus PA+++ sunscreen. And I know what you're thinking. Isn't that a chemical sunscreen? Yes, it is. It is a chemical sunscreen and I enjoy it. I have sensitive skin, so typically, I don't know what it is about chemical sunscreens, but for some reason my skin doesn't like them. Just doesn't like them, and it goes red and blotchy, it feels itchy, but this one is really lightweight, feels really soothing. It's also got beetroot in, hence Beat the Sun, and also vitamin C and some other nourishing ingredients, so it actually feels really nice on the skin. So I've been using this on my face and I've also been using the Comfy Water sunblock. I kind of like alternate between the two and I really like it. Doesn't break me out, feels really lightweight, I like the packaging, sits really nicely under makeup. I think it's a brilliant product and it is expensive. It's more expensive than the Purito Comfy Water sunblock, which is a mineral SPF. That's my other favourite, and I've been going between the two, but I do think it's worth the money because I think you don't need that much to cover your face and it's a nice product. So that's that one. And then the other skincare product I wanted to recommend, this is especially if you've been feeling really dehydrated, and I don't know if it's like stress, you know when you get dehydrated from stress or you're feeling nervous and you get that dehydrated kind of like just like tight skin, dry throat, not in terms of like illness, you're not feeling ill, but you just feel dry. I've been feeling dry and I've been upping my water intake, you know, doing my due diligence. I love ice water and lemon at the moment. That's a very refreshing drink that I have been sucking on. But that said, I have been upping my skincare game and I have really been enjoying using this regularly. So it's the Q&A Hyaluronic Acid Facial Serum. And don't get me wrong, I know there are so many hyaluronic acids on the market at the moment. If you don't know what it is, it holds a lot of moisture as an ingredient, hyaluronic acid. But I've tried quite a few, and although I like the Osea C serum, I think that's great, and I also like the Evolve Hyaluronic 2000 serum. I don't know, I forget the names of these things. Don't hold it against me, but I do forget the names sometimes. I love those too, but this one takes the crown. So good, and it's only £6.50. That is the kicker. It's only £6.50. I was really kindly sent this to try out because Q&A are a relatively new brand, and I think they launched in October of last year, and their mission, like their ethos, is to make skincare simple, which I love. Like when The Ordinary came out and when like the Inky List and all those brands that kind of made it just very straightforward what they were selling. It's not like a product with a really long name. It's not a product that you get confused like what the heck is this doing for my skin, because on the side it's got a little kind of like tick box thing, so it tells you this is for anti-inflammation, for hydration, for skin firmness. Like it tells you exactly what it's doing. I really appreciate that. It also tells you the skin type it's suitable for on any of their products, and this is just brilliant. Like for £6.50, I can't recommend it enough. And as soon as this runs out, I'm going to be purchasing this for myself, because I really notice when I don't use this, and I feel like that's when you know you've got a really good product on your hands, because when I wake up in the morning after doing my evening skincare routine and my skin, I haven't used this, and my skin just feels like tight. It just doesn't feel nice. It feels tight, it feels dehydrated, and this really helps to ease that tightness and just makes my skin feel nice and plump. And I use it with my my Lani Tropical Night Serum. This is lovely as well. Side note, I've already mentioned this on my channel, but side note, these two together, bellissimo. Let's talk about some beauty products, shall we? I've got 2 faves and 1 flop. Flop, that sounds weird. Flop. Is it faves and flop? I don't know. 2 loves, 1 not so love, which I thought I would share with you. 2 eye products. So this is an eyeliner, this is an eyeshadow palette. I'll start with the eyeshadow palette because I have mentioned this rather recently. It is the Own Your Naturals Body Shop eyeshadow palette. I used this in a recent video, so I will link that if you missed it, and you can check out me actually applying them to the eyelids and some swatches. But this is a lovely warm neutrals palette. I have tried Body Shop eyeshadows before and was really not that impressed, but these blend like a dream. This palette does look kind of mucky. I don't know if you can see that, but they are kind of all over the place. There's a lot of kickback. I never really understood why, when I would watch reviews of eyeshadow palettes, why people would make a big deal about kickback. Kickback is basically when you dip your brush in the eyeshadow and it kind of has a little bit of dust comes out. I don't care. Like, is that really harsh? But I don't care. Why would I care if it has a bit of kickback? All that means is it's going to blend nicely on your eyelid. I never understood that. You guys know why that's a big deal? I don't know. But yeah, this is a lovely eyeshadow palette, and for the price, I think it's a really... I mean, it's not... You can't do lots with it. You can just do warm, neutral kind of eye looks, but you've got mattes, you've got shimmers, you've also got these kind of more iridescent shades, and I think they blend beautifully, last really well, don't irritate my eyes. All in all, that's pretty much what I'm looking for in an eyeshadow palette, and it's cruelty-free and vegan. Bada bing, bada boom. Then the other eye-related product I've been enjoying is the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil. This is in the shade 02 Hot Chocolate, so it's a brown as opposed to a black. It doesn't drag the eye at all. I use it on my lower lash line or my upper lash line. It doesn't seem to smudge too much on me. It doesn't set completely, like I popped it on my hand to kind of see if it would set, and it doesn't set entirely, I'm not going to lie to you, but on me it lasts pretty well and doesn't smudge, so that's that one. Oh, also, whilst we're on beauty, just to mention what's on my lips, because I gave them a swatch as well. This one's the Axiology Lip Crayon in the shade Enduring, which is a palm oil-free, cruelty-free vegan brand, and I've used this in a video before actually, so I'll link that for you if you're interested. And I've mixed in a little bit of the Kitika of London in Morganite. This is like they call it a lip gloss, I think. It's not really a lip gloss, it's, you know, like natural lip glosses that are kind of thin, very comfortable, very lightweight, but they're not glossy, they're not thick and, you know, tick with 2 C's, you know what I'm saying? They're not like that at all. They're just colour. Does that make sense? Just like thin lip colour. I'm not explaining this well at all, but what I'm trying to say is I've got these 2 mixed on my lips, but the Morganite shade I've kind of pressed into my lips because it is slightly metallic and I'm not really about that metallic lip look. Oh, I also mentioned a flop, didn't I? But I didn't mention the flop. I said there was a flop, but I didn't tell you what the flop was. And the flop, unfortunately, is the Pressed Mineral Foundation by PHB. Ethical Beauty. This is in the shade Porcelain. It is vegan, Leap and Bunny certified. It has got SPF 30 in it, which is really why I picked it up, to be honest. Okay, essentially this probably isn't a total flop, but I do think that it's not what I want in a product. I think maybe if you've got really oily skin and you want a powder with SPF in, this might work for you. It reminds me of the Rimmel Stay Matte powders, which were always quite heavy on me. When I wear this, it makes me look somewhat like a concrete slab. It's just not the one. Like, it's not lightweight on the skin, feels heavy, looks heavy. It looks like you're wearing makeup, and I just don't like that powdery look. Like, maybe I'm getting older. Maybe my skin is just getting drier. I mean, I'm only 24, but I think that powdery look is just not really... I want fresh, like, not even dewy cheeks, but just like natural looking makeup. Not natural looking makeup, but just makeup that doesn't look powdery, doesn't look cakey. I don't think anyone's going out for that look, to be honest. I don't know if it's anybody's chosen look, and I don't think this is really the one. It's just not for me. But if you like the sound of that kind of like more heavier, textured look. Am I selling it? Like powdery textured look. This might be for you. It is 100% natural, vegan, cruelty-free, halal, gluten-free, paraben-free, no nanoparticles, so on and so forth. And I think the brand is lovely. I'd love to try more from the brand, but the product is just it's not for me. A hair care product I wanted to give a quick mention to. This is by Evolve, and this is a hair oil. What's called their Nourishing Hair Elixir. This is lovely. I've been using this pretty often and I feel like it gives my hair a very nourished look without it looking oily, because I do have drier, more dehydrated hair and it does tend to look a bit kind of frizzy and lackluster. As you can see, I've tried to do something with it, but it does kind of need a little bit of it needs a haircut, basically. It needs a haircut. She needs a haircut. I need to just cut it or get my mum's cut it, because obviously you're not going to the hairdressers, and I usually cut it myself anyway, but if you've been watching my channel for a while, you may remember I used to have very lopsided hair because I just kind of used to go for it. I used to just go for it in the mirror and it never used to be even, so I'm kind of seeing how long I can get away with it without cutting it myself. But anyway, it is a little bit dehydrated, it is quite dry, and especially at the ends, I like to use a hair oil, but they do just look quite heavy. Like, there's different kinds of consistencies of oils, and there are some that are very, like, you think of olive oil, it's quite thick, but then you think of like other oils, jojoba oil is less thick than olive oil. Coconut oil, once it's melted, is really, really thin. I don't like that as an ingredient for a hair product. Personally, it's not for me. But yeah, this is super, super lightweight. I've really been enjoying it. It smells amazing. And it's also the kind of product that you can use consecutively, if that makes sense. So I will usually use this after I wash my hair, but then the day after I wash my hair, I can still put this on top and it doesn't go crispy, it doesn't go oily, it doesn't look heavy and greasy. It's just a really nice product. I really recommend it if you find that hair oils typically are quite heavy on your hair and weigh it down. I recommend this one. It is lovely, and also a lovely small business to support at this time. Let's talk about perfume. You know what? I've just been using perfume even though I'm not going out anywhere, even though I don't need to be spruced up and smell nice. It just makes you feel put together and makes you feel spruced up. But you might not be leaving the house, but you can still smell good. I've really been enjoying perfume just to make me feel nice, and the perfume or perfumes, I'll get into it, but the kind of combo that I've been loving is this Elementary Unscheduled Wonder perfume. So this is more of a kind of woody, it's not sweet at all, like it's very earthy, woody. It smells straight up like a bonfire, like it's got smokiness to it, and it is lovely, but it's not sweet at all, so it's not very me on its own. Like, I've always liked using it and mixing it with other scents, like using a spritz of this and a spritz of another kind of sweeter scent. And this is a lovely small business, by the way. They're like a zero waste, plastic free perfume business. They do 2 other scents and they're all quite clean, earthy scents. But with this one in particular, I was like using it one day and I thought, you know what, Rebecca, I wish I had a little bit of vanilla in it. I wish I had a little bit of tonka bean in it. And then I thought, this is an opportunity to get creative and to do a bit of mixing. So what I did is I took this Layering Lab body mist. This is in the scent Cocoon, and this is just like Superdrug own brand, cheap as chips body mist. And I mix some of this into this, and I mix some of this into this. And now I've got 2 perfumes, because this is quite straight up sweet. Like, it's got jasmine, vanilla and musk in it, and it's very sweet. So I thought, too sweet, not sweet enough. They had a little baby, and now, oh my goodness, this is a bit of a pointless product to recommend because it's basically 2 products. It's basically just my little brainchild. It smells delicious. It smells so nice, and I know I'm not going anywhere. I know I don't need to wear perfume, but it's just been making me feel good, and I'm mainly proud that something that I thought up worked out well. That's a favourite, really. It's always nice when things work out, isn't it? A couple of body products that I've been loving. This one, really quickly, it's a creamy body wash. It's very simple, but it's just been really hydrating. And I did get this in PR. I wouldn't necessarily have bought this myself because it is packaged in plastic, and it's like a soft touch. It's not Tetra Pak, it's like a kind of soft touch something, but they basically have a scheme where they'll recycle these for you, like Weleda themselves will take them back, but I never really speak with much confidence when it comes to recycling because I won't go into it now, but it's more of a short-term solution. It's not really like a long-term viable solution for our plastic problem. But anyway, the product inside I've really been enjoying, and I have just been trying to use like bars of soap because obviously they're packaging free. If you get ones packaged in cardboard, they're completely plastic free. Tried not to use this all the time because I don't want to go through it too quickly, but I have to admit it's very nourishing. It's just like very creamy. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Trilogy Cream Cleanser, which is my favourite cream cleanser ever. I love it so much. So nourishing. It's like that, but for the body. Like, it's really creamy. It feels lovely, nourishing, leaves the skin really hydrated. It does have fragrance in, that's one thing I will mention. It does have fragrance in, and I try to avoid fragrance in bath products because of my sensitive skin, but for some reason, my skin doesn't mind this one. My skin's also been enjoying this body butter. This is by Andalou Naturals, who are a brand that I do probably need to try some more from, because I've tried a few of their products from the Petit Vol boxes, and just I've seen them in Whole Foods. I've swatched some of their products and their kind of their tinted SPFs and their facial toners and stuff, and it all seems very nice. It's all vegan, all cruelty free, and this body butter, like I say, I tried it in a Petit Vol box, was really impressed. Like, I don't often get impressed by samples enough to buy the full size. Like, I usually just work my way through a sample and I think like, oh yeah, it was nice, it was all right, like it wasn't horrible, but it has to kind of impress me quite a lot to pick up a full size. But I did pick up a full size of this. It's just very, very nourishing. The ingredients list is like a dream to me. Like, I love all of the ingredients on the ingredients list. It makes your skin feel velvety soft. I know a body butter is a body butter and there are loads on the market at the moment, but this is my fave and it's been making me feel velvety soft. And that is it for products. I've just got two other things to mention. One is a book, which I think I featured in a vlog, or I mentioned that I was reading in a vlog, but I never let you guys know what I thought of it. This is by The School of Life. So The School of Life are, I think they're like an organisation, but I only know them through YouTube. They have a YouTube channel called The School of Life, and they answer these kind of like existential questions, and it's got a bit to do with philosophy, a bit to do with psychology. It's very, very interesting and very engaging animation, so I highly recommend checking it out if you're into that kind of thing. But this one is called How to Overcome Your Childhood, which sounds a bit deep and meaningful, but the tagline says, understand the past, move on to the future. It's a really easy read, and it's very kind of like humbling, but also just helps you understand childhood is such a fragile time. Like, you're so easily molded when you're a child, and you're so easily affected by things. And it talks about like traumas, but not necessarily, you don't have to have had an overall like, traumatic, grew up in a war zone childhood to have little, I don't know, trauma sounds like a dramatic word. Parents are people before they are parents. So like when they have a kid, they already have like certain quirks and certain faults and certain strengths that will then impact that child in different ways. It's very, very interesting. It's not a very in-depth look at the subject. It's only 100 words long, but it's just really nicely written, very easy to understand. I really enjoyed it. I actually found myself like tearing up at some parts of it. I thought it was very moving. I really recommend this actually. I think it's just a nice little gift as well. It was £12. I picked this up in Manchester, I believe. Oh, it's probably my Manchester vlog. I featured this. And then last but not least, I wanted to mention a purchase I got on Depop. Now, I did order this, I bought it a while ago, way before lockdown. I have shut my Depop shop. If you guys didn't know, I have a Depop shop. But yeah, I've shut my Depop shop. I'm not purchasing things on Depop because it's just like getting people to unnecessarily go out to the post office. Like, I don't really think Depop should still be running at time. I know people are in difficult situations, so maybe that's a controversial opinion, but yeah, it's probably not the best time to be buying things off Depop unless you really, really need to. But anyway, a month or two ago I picked up this dress off of Depop, and I've just been waiting for the weather to get warm so that I can wear it, and now I have nowhere really to wear it to, but I can wear it in the garden. I can have little tea parties in the garden on my own. It's such a tea party dress. It's this really beautiful floral dress. I mean, did I need another floral dress, you ask me? No, I didn't. No, I did not. But did I want another floral dress secondhand? Yes, I did. I did. Got this beautiful low neck. It does have a little mark on it. You can't really see, and I knew that before purchasing that it had a mark on it. I think it's a little bit too big at the waist. Like, it's a medium. I thought it was a small, but it's a medium. On the listing it said it would fit an 8 to a 10. I get very confused because I haven't shopped fast fashion in, I'm not saying this in like, I haven't shopped fast fashion in so long. Like, I'm not saying it like I'm some kind of martyr, but I just don't understand sizing anymore. Have the sizes changed? Or do they just change between brands? Or do they just change between styles? Like, I don't know. I buy things secondhand that were from Zara or Topshop originally, and they're just all over the place. Like, you could get an 8 in one brand and an 8 in another brand, and there'd be two completely different sizes. It's so confusing. Anyway, just a little side note, if anyone else has noticed that sizes have changed, it's quite perplexing. Rather perplexing, but yeah, that is my little hoard of stuff that I have been enjoying and pampering myself with. And I do have quite a few other skincare products I was going to feature in this video, but I thought it'd be way too skincare heavy, so maybe I'll do a separate like vegan skincare roundup review video because I've found some goodies. and some not so goodies, some goodies and baddies. But yes, I hope we're doing well. I hope we're washing our hands and getting under the fingernails and washing our bum. Yeah, take care of yourself, take care of your pets, and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye.